I never thought betrayal could taste like Chanel No. 5 and stale champagne. But here I was, choking on it in a body that wasn't mine. My sister's lips, plump, Botox perfect, curled into a smile that felt like a stranger's sneer as I watched her old life unfold on the marble kitchen island of her Upper East Side apartment. And the kicker? She'd framed me for embezzling from the family firm, landing me in a psych ward for delusional episodes while she siphoned every dime, including the car she demanded because Violet can always buy another, right before she orchestrated the repossession notice that stripped me bare. It started 6 months ago, back when I still believed blood was thicker than the Hudson River fog. My name's Violet Hargrove, 32. The quiet cog in Hargrove and Associates, our family's cutthroat real estate empire that turned Manhattan brownstones into billionaire bunkers. Dad built it from nothing. Immigrant grit meets Wall Street wolves, and Mom polished it with old money charm. I was the good daughter, the one who crunched numbers late into the night, ensuring deals closed without a single lawsuit. My sister, Lila, she was the shark, all teeth and tailored suits, charming clients at galas while I handled the fallout from her creative accounting. The night it all shattered was a Hargrove holiday party at the plaza, crystal chandeliers dripping like frozen tears. I just closed a deal on a Tribeca loft that saved us from a hostile takeover. Quietly. Efficiently. No fanfare. Lila cornered me by the bar, her emerald gown hugging curves I'd kill for, martini in hand. Violet, darling, that necklace Mom left you? It's divine. But really, with your aesthetic, it's wasted. She meant my thrift store chic, the faded jeans and Doc Martens that screamed, starving artist, in a sea of Louboutins. Before I could snap back, she leaned in, breath hot with gin. Lend it to me for the night? I could buy you another, hell, I could buy you a fleet. I laughed it off, but handed it over. The heirloom pearls. Mom's last gift before the cancer one. Mistake 1. By morning, the necklace was gone, pawned. I later learned, to cover Lila's gambling debts at the Bellagio during Fashion Week. But that was small potatoes. The real gut punch came weeks later. Audits revealed $2 million missing from escrow accounts. Fingerprints? Mine. Somehow. Emails from my laptop authorizing phantom transfers. Security footage of me slipping out with briefcases at odd hours. Lila's tearful testimony to the board. Violet's been spiraling since Mom. I tried to help, but I was arrested in my Brooklyn walk-up, the cops treating me like yesterday's trash. White-collar crime hits hard in this city, the detective drawled, cuffing me as neighbors gawked. Trial was a circus, tabloids screaming, heiress heist. Sister slips up? Lila testified in pearls that weren't Mom's, her voice cracking just right. The judge, some old boy from Dad's golf circuit, gave me 5 years probation and a psych eval. Delusional disorder, the shrink labeled it, pumping me full of Haldol that turned my thoughts to fog. Disbarred. Disowned. I washed up in a state-funded ward upstate, staring at peeling wallpaper while Lila inherited everything. The car? My '72 Mustang. Cherry red. The one Dad restored with me summers in the garage. She demanded it for appearances, sweet-talked the repo man she knew from law school. Violet can buy another, she cooed over the phone I overheard in a lucid haze. The notice arrived the day they wheeled me in, her doing, forged signature sealing the deal. That's when the swap happened. Or maybe it started earlier. With the family curse, whispers Dad dismissed as immigrant superstition. Mom sighed. Romanian roots. Tales of Strigoi, soul thieves who traded bodies under blood moons. I scoffed. Dosed on antipsychotics. Until one night in the ward. Lightning cracked the sky like God's own whip. I dreamed of Lila's face melting into mine. Her laughter echoing as she whispered, "Your turn to play pretend." Woke up gasping. But the mirror in the bathroom. It showed her. Lila's face. Her honey blonde waves. Her sharp cheekbones. The faint scar from that Hamptons yacht crash she blamed on me. I touched her cheek and felt the pull, like threads unraveling from a sweater. Nurses bustled in, calling me Ms. Hargrove, Lila.
Dear.
Your ride's here. Discharged? Into her life? I played along, heart hammering, as a town car whisked me to the apartment. The doorman nodded like I belonged. Inside, it reeked of her, jasmine candles masking desperation. On the counter, my repossession notice, framed like a trophy. To remind you, a note in her script read, "Winners keep the wheels." Fury boiled.
But so did clarity.
This wasn't coincidence. The lightning, the dream, it was the swap. Her soul in my body, rotting in the ward, while I wore her skin like a stolen coat. First move, reconnaissance. I rifled drawers, found ledgers hidden in a false-bottom Louis Vuitton. $5 million laundered through shell companies. Clients strong-armed into silence. Dad's heart attack. Pills in her medicine cabinet matched the tox report I'd glimpsed. Overdose. Staged as grief. She'd killed him for control. Pinned the stress on me. And the embezzlement? Her hacks. My alibis. Deep betrayal. Buried secrets. I bore her crimes. Her sins. While she danced on my grave. But power? Lila had it locked. Board allies. A senator boyfriend. Private security that could make a mobster blush. I needed a plan. Controversial as hell. Step 1. Seduce the senator. Pry loose his dirt. He was at the apartment that night. All silver fox and Scotch breath. Expecting Lila's fire. I gave it, laced with questions. Tell me about the Hudson deal, off record. He spilled. Drunk on ego. Bribes to zoning boards. My sister's involvement up to her neck. By dawn, I had text screenshot. Leverage simmering. Mornings in Lila's body felt like wearing someone else's skin. Too tight in the ego. Too loose in the conscience. I stared at the espresso machine, a gleaming Italian beast she'd probably bought with my tuition savings, and plotted while it hissed like a cornered snake. The city outside pulsed with that relentless New York rhythm, taxis honking like angry geese, joggers in Lululemon dodging dog shit on the sidewalks. Modern America. Land of opportunity, unless you're the fall guy in your own family drama. I hit the streets that first full day, testing the waters. Fifth Avenue, where wealth waltzed like it owned the air. Lila's Amex, black as sin, swiped through Bergdorf's like butter. But I bought nothing. Just observed. The salesgirls cooed. MS. Hargrove. The perfect red for you, mistaking me for the socialite who summered in the Hamptons. I smiled her smile, all teeth and no soul, and slipped into the executive washroom to call her assistant. Reschedule the board meeting. And get me the files on the Tribeca acquisition. Voice steady. Midwestern lilt she faked from Yale days. Back home, the files confirmed it. She tanked that deal deliberately, framing me for the shortfall to oust Dad early. Hidden emails to offshore accounts, coded as charity donations. Mom's necklace? collateral for a loan shark who looked the other way on the laundering. The car, my Mustang, was chopped for parts in Jersey. Proceeds funding her latest spree. Rage coiled like a spring in my gut, but I tamped it. Revenge wasn't a sprint, it was a subway delay, building pressure until the doors blew. Enter Marcus, the senator's aide, young, ambitious, with eyes like a ferret sniffing opportunity. I bumped into him at Le Bernardine, Lila's go-to for power lunches. Violet?
No.
Wait, Lila. Right?
God.
You look stressed. I laughed, low and throaty, channeling her flirt. Over oysters? I probed. Boyfriend's been distant. Anything I should know? He caved fast, the kid type who idolized her. The FBI's sniffing around the Hudson bribes. Your sister's name, yours, popped up.
Mine.
Always mine. That night, alone with a bottle of Napa Cab she'd cellar stolen from Dad, I weighed options. Controversial decision numero uno: leak the senator's texts anonymously to Politico. Not enough to topple him. Just bruise. Watch the story drop online. Headlines screaming, "Power couple in corruption cloud?" Lila's phone, my temporary lifeline, blew up. But it was in the ward, with her soul puppeteering my body. Did she feel the tremors? Deeper dive. The family vault at the firm. I waltzed in, badge still active under her name. Past security, who called me boss lady. Vault held more than deeds. Dad's journals. Scrawled confessions about Mom's affair that never was. Lila's doing. Forged letters to drive a wedge. And photos, me as a kid. Grease smeared from garage tinkering. Dad beaming. Her, absent. Off at boarding school. Plotting her ascent. Twist of the knife, a call from the ward. Pretending to be concerned family, I dialed in. Violet stable, the doc said, but insists on odd stories. Body swaps. Revenge packs. Her voice, muffled, but I heard the snarl. She knew. Somehow, across the ether, our swapped souls pinged like faulty Wi-Fi. Tell her, I whispered to the line. The Mustang's engine purred one last time before they scrapped it. Because of you, sleep evaded me, haunted by dreams of tires screeching on rain-slick I-95. The repo man's grin. Woke to a knock, private eye. Hired by whom? MS. Hargrove, your sister's asking questions from the bin. Thinks you're not you. Paranoia? Or intuition bleeding through? I paid him off with a check from her slush fund, then ghosted him with a tip to the IRS. Controversial? Hell yes, innocent until proven. But in this game, trust was the first casualty. By week's end, I'd mapped her web, allies in City Hall, a fixer named Rocco who handled the discreet jobs, like dosing Dad's scotch. I met Rocco in a dim Hell's Kitchen dive, posing as Lila on a bender. Need a favor, old family loose end. He leered, assuming the usual. I slipped a tracker in his drink, watched him stumble out. His phone pinged locations, Atlantic City casinos, where she'd racked debts, a warehouse in Red Hook, whispers of product that smelled like money laundering. Tension ratcheted as bored whispers turned to murmurs. Lila's off her game, they said at the next meeting. Me in her chair, deflecting with charm I borrowed from old rom-coms. Signed a deal that funneled funds back, subtly, to rebuild what she'd gutted. But inside, the swap gnawed. Mirrors lied now. I'd catch glimpses of my old face flickering, like bad CGI in a B-movie. Was it unraveling or strengthening? One controversial call. Visit the ward. Dressed down in Lila's cast-offs, jeans that hugged wrong. I drove a rental. Heart pounding like bass at a Jay-Z show. Upstate gray skies mirrored my mood. Signed in as sister. Peered through the plexi. There I was, my body.
Hollow-eyed.
Ranting to a nurse about stolen reflections. Our eyes met. And for a split second, souls brushed. Hate. Pure and electric. Enjoying the view. Vi, she mouthed. Lips mine but twisted. I mouthed back. Your empire's rusting. Tick-tock. Drove back, through pouring rain. Wipers slapping like accusations. The city swallowed me whole. Neon blurring into accusations. Revenge wasn't just payback, it was rewriting the script. Line by bloody line. But how far would I go? Leak everything and burn the firm? Innocent jobs lost? Or play her game? Become the monster to slay one? The Mustang's ghost revved in my veins. Demanding justice. And justice, in America, always came with a price tag. Power's a drug. And in Lila's skin, I was hooked, chasing highs of small wins while the crash loomed like a Wall Street bust. 2 weeks in, and her life was a house of cards in a wind tunnel, senator dodging calls. Bored, eye me sideways. Tabloids sniffing for more scandal. I leaned into it. American dream twisted into nightmare fuel. Sophia Blosk as my muet. I scrolled X on her iPhone. Memes mocking, heiress hysteria. Hashtag Lilalize trended. My anonymous drops fanning flames. Controversial pivot. Ally up with the enemy. Rocco's tracker led to a brownstone in Brooklyn. Old-school Italian joint masking as a social club. I showed unannounced. Lila's strut masking terror. Rocco. We need to talk debts. He lounged. Cigar smoke curling like suspicions. Goons flanking. Boss lady. You look different. Heard your twins yapping crazy shit upstate. I laughed.
Poured Chianti.
Family drama. But that Hudson payout? It's drying. Turned the screw. Hinted at feds closing in.
He bit.
Spilling on Lila's side hustles. Coke runs from Miami. Funneled through real estate flips. In return, I greenlit a clean deal. Skimming 10% his way. Betrayal for betrayal. Slept with guilt gnawing, but woke empowered. Her web, now mine to spin. Deeper secret surfaced in Dad's old office. A mahogany tomb at the firm. Rifled safe. Letters from Mom. Pre-cancer. Begging Lila to stop the lies. Turns out, Sis had forged Dad's signature on a loan years back, tanking our credit, me taking heat as the irresponsible one. The crime I bore? Not just embezzlement, but a hidden run she'd caused in college. Drunk on Daddy's dime. Pinned on me via tampered dashcam. Victim's family sued, settlement from my savings. I'd paid in blood.
Sweat.
Sanity while she partied. Twist brewed, the swaps mechanics. Late night Google, occult forums. Romanian folklore sites, whispered of reversal rituals. Blood moon waning. A mirror circle. Invocation. Risky as hell. But if I could trap her soul permanent.
No.
Controversial decision to amplify the madness. I dose myself, via ward contacts, with placebos swapped for real Haldol. Watch her unravel from afar. Confess on tape. Hired a crooked orderly. $5,000 wired. Make it look natural, I said. Voice cracking. Ethics? Faded like my old life. City tension mirrored mine. Protests downtown over housing evictions, Hargrove properties front and center. I attended incognito. Lila's shades hiding eyes that burned. Chants of justice now echoed my pulse. Slipped a USB to a reporter. Partial ledgers, redacted to protect the firm but expose her. Story hit NYT. Real estate royalties rotten core. Stock dipped 8%. Board panicked. Meeting called, me presiding. We're pivoting to ethical builds, I declared. Channeling Obama cool. They bought it. Votes locking her control. But Lila fought back. Ward logs showed Violet demanding release. Citing identity theft. A lawyer arrived, hers
Prepped.
lawsuit brewing. Conservatorship over unstable sibling. My blood ran cold. Counter. Seduce the board chair. Silver-haired widower with a weakness for blondes. Dinner at per se. Whispers over foie gras. Lila. You're not yourself. I leaned in. Maybe I am. For the first time. Betted him that night. Not for pleasure. But pillow talk on her erratic behavior. By morning, he'd quashed the suit. Controversial? Power dynamics screamed me too. But in this dark ballet, survival trumped sermons. Climax edged closer. Rocco called. Your sister's goons are circling. Fixer job on the loose end, the twin. Hit on me? No, on her. In my body. Desperation. I met him in shadows. Rainslick alley behind the club. Call it off, I hissed. He grinned. Yellow teeth. Or what? Princess. I pulled her beretta, hidden in her nightstand. Cereal filed off. Or I paint this town redder than my Mustang. Bluff. But he folded. Spilling the last secret. Mom didn't die of cancer. Lila switched meds. Hastened it for inheritance. The ultimate sin.
Burit in falsified charts.
Drove to the ward under cover of storm. Lightning forking like veins. Confronted the doc. Patient transfer immediate. Bribed with firm funds. Loaded me into the rental. Sedated lightly. My eyes fluttered open en route. You bitch, she slurred. Voice mine but venom hers. This skin itches. I smirked. Good. Eternity's a long scratch. Pulled over on a deserted throughway. Trunk prepped with zip ties. Duct tape. Dragged her out. Rain soaking us both. Mirror from the glove box. Cracked. Like our bond. Began the ritual. Circle of salt from a diner packet. Chant half remembered from forums. Return what was stolen. Find the thief. She laughed. Manic. You think this is magic? It's science. Experimental neural swap. Black market from that psych trial you escaped. Twist one, not curse. But tech. Ward was a front for elite mind transfers. Rich folks cheating death. She'd volunteered me as guinea pig. Testing on the disposable. Rage surged. Controversial crescendo. I pressed the gun to her temple, my temple.
Confess.
On video. Phone rolling. She spat truths. Car. Necklace.
Dad.
Mom, all her. You were always the weak link.
Vi.
I made you useful. Sirens wailed distant. Rocco's betrayal? I fired a warning shot into dirt. Echo thunderous. Tied her. Left her for cops with the tape USB to my cloud. Drove back. Swap humming unstable. Mirrors flickered wild now. Faces swapping mid-glance. The empire teetered. But so did I. Dawn broke bloody over the skyline, painting the East River like a crime scene canvas. I paced Lila's penthouse, now my war room, adrenaline crashing like the 29 market. The tape? Uploaded anonymously to WikiLeaks Lite. A dark web drop that spidered to CNN by noon. Headlines exploded. Hargrove's scandal. Murder. Mayhem. And mind games. Her empire. My prison. Crumbled in pixels and panic calls. Board emails flooded. Resign or we're voting no confidence. Senator dumped her via text. Cowards exit. Even the doorman averted eyes, whispering trouble to the lobby ferns. But victory tasted like ash. The swap destabilized. Headaches pounded like jackhammers on concrete. Visions of my old face overlaying hers in every reflection. Neurological bleed? Or karma's invoice? I ignored it, fueling on black coffee and cold fury. Controversial endgame. Dismantle from within. Called an emergency board meet at the firm. Skyline view mocking the fall. Suited in her Armani armor, I entered like a queen dethroned. Gentleman and Elena, nodding to the lone woman. The truth is out. Lila Hargrove's crimes end today. Gasps rippled. I projected the tape, her confession looping. Voice mine, but lies hers. Embezzlement. Patricide. Matricide. Words hung heavy. Air thick as a jury box. Chair, my one-night leverage, paled.
This. Fabrication.
I smiled. Lila's ice queen curve. Corroborated by ledgers. Witnesses. FBI's en route. Bluff too. I tipped them myself. Anonymous. Chaos erupted. Shouts. Phones dialing lawyers. I seized the mic. New era, ethical Hargrove 2.0. I lead. Or we all sink. Votes swung. Fear their ballot. By adjournment. I was CEO, her throne. My noose. Streets buzzed electric. Protesters swelled outside. Signs reading, Hargrove blood money. I slipped out back. Into the rental. Mustang's echo in its growl. Headed to Red Hook. Rocco's warehouse. Goons patrolled chain link. But I knew the blind spot from his pings. Slipped in. Shadows my ally. Crates stamped art imports. Coke bricks inside. Kilo upon kilo. Lit the match. Gasoline trail from Lila's lighter. Engraved LH. And watched flames lick like vindictive tongues. Sirens wailed symphony as I vanished into fog. Acrid smoke a funeral pyre for her sins. Back home. The real storm hit. Ward called. Patient escaped custody. Violent. Her. Loose in my body. Rampaging. News alerts pinged. Psych ward breakout. Woman claims identity theft. Wields knife. My face on every screen. Wild-eyed. Ranting about swaps. Cops swarmed her trail. Brooklyn sightings. Subway chases. I watched from the penthouse. Popcorn-style tension. But dread coiled. If caught, she'd spin it. Lila's framing me again. Public? Circus.
Me? Suspect.
Controversial choice 3. Hunt her down. Armed with her Glock, I prowled my old neighborhood. Williamsburg lofts, now hipster hives. Tips from street whispers, burners I'd bought at a bodega. Found her in my abandoned walk-up, squatting amid dust bunnies and eviction ghosts. Door creaked open. She whirled. Kitchen knife glinting. My body gaunt. Feral stared back. Give it up. Lila. The tape spiral. Empire's mine. She lunged. Knife slashing air. We grappled. Bodies colliding like oil and water. Her strength, my old muscle, pinned me against peeling wallpaper. You think you won? This swap's reversible, prototype chip in our necks. Clawed at my nape. Felt the lump. Surgical scar hidden by hair. Tech. Not magic. Black market Neuralink. Tested on psych patients for therapy. She'd sold me out for immortality. Body hopping the elite. Fight blurred. Punches landing on familiar flesh. Grunts echoing shared lungs. I need her myself, in the gut. Grabbed the knife. Held it to her throat, my throat. End it. Confess clean. Tears streaked her, my cheeks. Violet.
Please.
We're all we have.
Lie.
Slick as ever. But hesitation flickered. Blood's whisper. Sirens closed in. Neighbors called it. She twisted free. Bolted for the fire escape. I pursued. Rain-slick rungs groaning. Rooftop showdown. City lights a indifferent audience. Wind howled gospel. Jump or jail, I yelled over gale. She teetered. Knife raised. You stole my life, now take it back. Lunge, slash across my arm. Her blood welling crimson. I fired, warning. Grazing her shoulder. Down she went, tumbling edge. Grabbed her wrist, my wrist, at the last. Hauling back. Cops burst up. Tasers humming. Hands up. I dropped the gun. Hands high. She's the one, Lila Hargrove. Check the scars. Cuffed together. We rode downtown. Blues blaring like Judgment Day. Interrogation. Her rants dismissed as delusion. My calm story backed by the tape. Feds arrived. Chip scans confirming the swap. Neural signatures mismatched. Scandal metastasized. Headlines on body broker black ops. Hargrove linked to Shadow Labs. Firm seized. Assets frozen.
Me?
Released on my word. Her allies crumbling like stale bagels. But the high faded fast. Arm stitched in ER. Mirror showed Lila's face, tired, fractured. Swap held.
For now.
Reporters camped my door. Mics thrusting like accusations. MS. Hargrove. Did you orchestrate the revenge? I stonewalled. American poise masking the void. Weeks blurred into a fever dream. The city a pressure cooker on high. FBI grilled me daily, Sterling. The agent. All crew cut and coffee breath, probing the swap like it was Watergate 2.0. Neural transference? That's sci-fi.
Kenneth.
Hargrove. I showed the scar. Demanded scans. Results. Anomaly confirmed. Her soul, neural map in my body. Mine and hers. Labs rated. Docs flipping like pancakes. Lila? Locked in max security. My face on trial feeds. Pleading insanity. It's her. Violet's the monster. Public devoured it. Podcast dissecting the Hargrove swap. Revenge or redemption? TikToks memed my old mugshots. Filters swapping our faces mid-dance. Firm dissolved, Phoenix or Ash. I rebuilt solo. Small, ethical flips in the Bronx. Tenants first. No empire. Just equity. The Mustang? Trace parts to a Queen's chop shop. Bought back scraps. Mechanic buddy pieced it, therapy on wheels. Engine purring forgiveness? Controversial reckoning. Visit her. Rikers. Fluorescent hell. Through glass. My body stared back. Hollow. Medicated.
Vi.
You did this. Voice mine. But defeated. I pressed receiver. You started it. Mom.
Dad.
The car. I could buy another, remember? She crumpled. I was scared. Dad favored you. The swap. Immortality pitch. Elite club. You were expendable. Tears, mine flowed. Expendable? Your sister? Final secret spilled. Mom knew. Confessed on deathbed. Protect Lila's fire, she'd whispered. Fire that burned us all. Twist reversed. Reversal possible. Feds held the tech prototype fix.
Risky.
60% success. Failures? Comas. Madness. I weighed. Reclaim my skin. Let her rot. Or trap her eternal. Become the villain? Debated nights. Mustang idling curbside. Radio crooning Springsteen anthems of broken highways. America's promise. Second chances. Or sink or swim. Chose gamble. Surgeries scheduled. Clandestine. Under guard. Prep room sterile as a confessional. Last chance to bail, Sterling said. I grinned. Bails for quitters. Anesthesia tugged. World fading to black. Woke groggy. Mirrors fogged. Wiped clear. My face. Violet's freckles faint. Eyes storm gray. Hers, across hall. Sedated. Back in her shell. Scans beeped normal. Outpatient haze. City welcome soft. Autumn leaves crunching underfoot. Vendors hawking chestnuts like normalcy. Press hounded. Revenge served. But I dodged. Drove the Mustang top down. Wind therapy. Firm. Sold remnants to a co-op. Proceeds to victims' funds. Mom's necklace? Redeemed from pawn. Rest strung simple. Ending? No tidy bow. Lila's trial loomed. Life. Maybe.
Me?
Free. But scarred. Power's illusion. Betrayal's echo. Did I win? Or become her? Readers argue. Justice or cycle? I rev the engine. Head for open road, California dreams. Maybe. Blood's thinner than ink. But revenge? It writes the damn book. In the rear view, Manhattan shrinks, glitter to grit. Hook's echo. I took her body. Her throne. Her hell. But the soul? That's the real swap. And in America's dark heart, we all wear borrowed skins.